Sorry, you caught me with my glasses off. Good morning. My name is Earl, and I am with EK3, or excuse me, I'm with City Group, and I appreciate you coming back to Always On, the Cyber and AI Growth Briefing for Business Leaders. Again, my name is Earl Kelly. I'm the CEO of City Group, and today we're talking about one of the most jaw-dropping, fastest-moving, and frankly, terrifying threats hitting small and mid-sized businesses right now. We're going to talk about AI voice clone attacks. If you think your team would just know if a call sounds fake, they won't. Because in 2025, AI can now sound exactly like you. So voice cloning used to require high-end equipment. Now, anyone with 60 seconds of your voice can clone you perfectly. A voicemail, a Zoom meeting, a podcast clip, a YouTube video. Once criminals clone your voice, they can approve payments, authorize wires, reset passwords, or impersonate you during emergencies, and your team will believe every word. This is why SMBs are being hit the hardest. Now, here's what we're going to dive into today. We're going to talk about how AI voice cloning actually works. We're going to talk about some real world small business cases. We're going to talk about the new fraud and social engineering funnel. And then the policies that every business must implement immediately. This episode will absolutely change how you think about your own voice. So this is a cross-industry warning. If your organization has a CEO, a CFO, a controller, an office manager, a bookkeeper, an executive assistant, then you are all at risk. Attackers don't really care what industry you're in. They follow the money and the authority. So let me start with one real story. Last month, a Florida logistics company lost $89,700 after the CEO called accounting with an urgent payment request. The voice had the same tone, the same cadence, and the same phrases the real CEO uses. The accountant followed instructions, but the CEO was actually on a flight. And the perfect AI clone did the talking, and the money was poof, gone before anyone realized what was happening. So here's the stat every leader needs to hear. 1 in 4 small businesses experience a voice clone scam attempt in the past 12 months. These attacks are growing by the month, not the year. And insurance often denies the losses due to social engineering exclusions. That means that if your employee gets tricked, you may not be covered. So here's the criminal playbook. Step 1, they collect 20 to 40 seconds of your voice online. Step 2, AI clones your voice in under a minute. Step 3, they call your staff pretending to be you. Step 4, they create urgency. I need this done right now. So step 5, your team complies because the voice is unmistakably yours. This is the new face of social engineering. The top victims are not who you think they are. It's not executives. It's the people who support them. Bookkeepers, controllers, office managers, executive assistants, front desk coordinators, HR and operations staff. These are the people who trust your voice more than anyone else, and the attackers weaponize that trust. The average small business loss for voice clone fraud is now $48,000 per incident. And it's not just the money. Investigations take weeks. Payments cannot always be reversed. And insurance can and often does deny coverage. Reputation damage is immediate. Staff confidence takes a hit. And a single phone call can destabilize your entire financial operations. Here's the mindset shift every business needs. Your voice is now a credential, just like a password, just like a multi-factor authentication. And if you're still relying on voice-only approvals, then your credential is already compromised. From now on, treat your voice as an asset that can be stolen, replicated, and used against you. So let's talk about our AI myth of the week. So this week's myth is one I hear from CEOs all the time. My team would instantly know if the voice isn't me. And look, I get it. We're all like to think that we're unmistakable. But here's the truth. You can't out detect modern AI voice cloning. You just can't. AI models today can capture your tone, your rhythm, your emotional inflection, and even your favorite expressions using just a short clip of your voice. We've run real cases where employees were absolutely convinced they were talking to their actual CEO and it was a clone. Even spouses sometimes can't tell the difference. So, no, your team cannot rely on their ears. This is not a human detection problem. This is a process problem. And if you don't have a process, you are vulnerable. All right. So let's jump into our power move of the week, your AI prompt. This is the tool you can use anytime you receive a voicemail, an audio message, or a suspicious call. You can run this through any modern AI model that supports audio analysis. So here's the first prompt we recommend. Analyze this audio clip and detect whether it includes any AI generated segments, synthetic markers, or voice clone artifacts. This helps you flag synthetic audio, especially in voicemails or recordings that suddenly sound off. But I also want to give you a second, even more powerful prompt, the one you use when you suspect fraud. If you ever receive a message that feels urgent, unusual, or financially related, use this. Compare this audio to the known voice profile for this person's name, and you can create that wave file with any tool. Identify any mismatches in cadence, tone, emotional pattern, or digital artifact that would indicate a potentially AI generated impersonation. This is your safety net. You can give this prompt to your accounting team, your controller, your office manager, anyone who answers the phone for you. If your team doesn't know how to verify your voice, this gives them the power to do so in seconds. So let's do a live demo. So I had a live demo scheduled for this, but I decided that I didn't want to actually show how to do this, but I will show you what I did. So we're going to get into something that will actually change the way you think about voice security. So I've done a live demo. I've done a a wave file. So you can hear how fast and accurately an attacker can clone a voice using just publicly available tools. So I did this with publicly available tools, and I'm going to play them for you, but I'm not actually going to show you how I did it because I think that would be a little bit irresponsible of me to show that. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to pull up a file. Give me a second. All right, so I'm going to pull up this file. All right, and this is Bill. I had Bill record this voice so that we could clone it. So Bill called in. He said he is calling from ABC Company. I'm actually not sure if you can hear that, but I believe you can. So we'll play that again. So Bill called in from ABC Company. That's something that Bill did. This is not Bill's voice. So as you can see there, Philip from accounting called in and he was looking to authorize a transaction. Turns out Philip is not even. Oh, I'm told you can't hear it. So give me just a minute. We'll try this again. I'm just going to share my entire screen with you. Let's see how that goes. All right. So this is Bill.
Hello, my name is Bill, and I'm calling from ABC Company. May I please speak with Tom?
All right. So that was Bill. Bill called in. Bill wanted to speak with Tom. So that was an actual phone call that happened. This phone call is not Bill.
Hi, this is Philip from accounting, and I'm looking to authorize a transaction of $11,000.
Notice how both of those were very similar. So that's something you can do. I did it. It's a standard AI voice model interface. It's nothing fancy. It was free on the internet, and I was able to do it. This isn't NSA level technology. It is publicly available on the internet. All the attacker needs is 20 to 40 seconds of your voice. That could come from a Zoom meeting that you forgot was recorded. It could come from a voicemail greeting, a social media clip, a podcast interview, or even a video of someone else posted you speaking at an event. Think about how many videos we have online, how often that we can actually, how many videos do we have online that someone you can download, okay? So again, we did that. I uploaded a short audio clip. It was less than 15 seconds. It was just Bill talking at a normal pace. And then once the system processed it, you can see that it figured out his cadence, his emotional patterns, and analyzed his tone, and was able to record that in just under a minute. So again, not rocket science. It was really, really super simple. So now imagine you're a bookkeeper or a controller who gets a call and it sounds exactly like that. It's the same voice, same urgency, same personality. Most employees don't want to get in trouble, so they would comply without hesitation. Not because they're clueless, but because this sounds 100% authentic. So and all I have to do then is change my change what I need Bill to say, and then it will actually change that. And it's really, really, really easy. So let's take everything that we've learned so far, the cloning, the urgency, the impersonation, and let's turn it into something practical that you can use. So this is your voice clone safety checklist. And these are 3 non-negotiables, the baseline protections that every small business should have in place. Let's walk through them. 1, never approve financial or sensitive actions by voice alone, ever. If someone calls you, even if the voice sounds exactly like the CEO, you must verify through another channel. So so you're going to say, okay, well, send me an email. Well, if your email is compromised and your voice is compromised, then I would do some sort of secret code or something that only the CEO would know, or a text message, something like that. Voice is no longer enough in 2025, and email is very easily compromised. So I want you to think of a voice like a password printed on a billboard. It can be copied instantly, reused, and manipulated. So if anyone's requesting a wire transfer, a vendor payment, a bank update, a password reset, an emergency action, you need a second verification method. Text, email, again, email can be compromised, a code phrase, maybe an internal system, anything except voice. Voice approvals only should be dead in your environment. Use voice safe code phrases for sensitive or financial actions. So this is one of the easiest, smartest protections that you can put in place. Pick a simple phrase, doesn't have to be very complicated. Something like green light alpha, morning frost, confirming the blue folder. It should be short, unguessable, and only used internally. Now, here's why that works. AI can clone your voice, but it can't guess the phrase that you chose. Don't write the phrase in your email. Code phrases turn a vulnerable voice call into a secure 2-step process. And the beauty is that it costs you absolutely nothing. It's simple, it's fast, and every department can use it. If you write it in your email and your email is cloned, then you have a bigger problem. So make sure that you don't write it in your email. Train your team to slow down urgent requests. And this is the big one. Urgency is the weapon that's used against you. So every successful voice clone attack has the same emotional signature: stress, pressure, urgency, fear of doing the wrong thing, fear of slowing down a leader. Your staff wants to help you. They want to be responsive. They don't want to be the bottleneck. And attackers exploit that. So train your team to slow the moment down, take a breath, verify, ask clarifying questions, and use the code phrase to confirm. Or again, confirm through a second channel. You never pay a price for slowing down a fraudster. You only pay a price for rushing. So if you do these three things consistently, kill voice-only approvals, use internal code phrases, and train staff to slow the urgency, you eliminate 80% of the risk from voice clone attacks. These are simple human strategies, and they work because they reinforce trust with process, not guesswork. So the checklist is something you can walk through with your team today, because your people don't need more paranoia, they need a protocol. So let's shift into our risk radar for the next 30 days. This is where we look ahead at what's coming, the patterns we're seeing across our clients, our industry partners, and the wider cybersecurity community. Voice clone attacks rarely happen in isolation. They're usually part of a broader fraud campaign, and the signs are already showing up. Here's what we're anticipating over the next month: a spike in CFO and CEO impersonation calls. We're already seeing coordinated waves of these attacks. Criminals are targeting multiple businesses in the same region, often within the same week, because they assume your executives attend similar events. They leave similar digital footprints. They use similar software, and they share similar communication patterns. In other words, if your competitor's CFO gets hit, your CFO is probably next. A surge in QuickBooks and accounting platform fraud, and this is a big one. We're seeing attackers combine voice clone calls with fake QuickBooks. I can't say QuickBooks. Fake QuickBooks invoices, fraudulent vendor charges, and updated payment instructions. Urgent late fee warnings, fake ACH authorization forms, etc. Right? So the voice clone creates the urgency. The fake documents complete the theft. And because it feels like a legitimate business, employees fall for it all the time. And voice-based password reset scams. This trend is growing fast. An attacker calls IT pretending to be the CEO, the controller, a department head, a remote employee traveling. They use the clone voice to request a password reset because they're locked out. So if your internal IT or help desk doesn't follow strict verification steps, this is one of the fastest and most destructive account takeover methods that we're seeing. One reset equals full access. Vendor impersonation attacks. And here's a twist that most people don't expect. Attackers are no longer impersonating your executives, they're also impersonating your vendors. Think about that. Your bank rep, your payment processor, your insurance agent, your legal liaison, your logistics dispatcher. All of those people, if their voices are online, and they can be cloned and used to manipulate your team. And this is why voice verification must be eliminated across your entire communication chain, not just internal calls. And emergency-themed crisis calls designed to override judgment. And this is the emotional kill shot. Attackers know that if they can create a moment of panic, they can override your team's critical thinking. We're seeing calls like, I'm boarding a flight, send this now. The bank is freezing our account, do this immediately. A client is threatening legal action, handle this before the deadline. Or we're losing a major deal, process the payment right now. These calls all are meant to break the protocol, again, with the urgency. And urgency is the weapon, and your process is the shield. So voice clone attacks aren't theoretical, they're happening daily, and they follow very predictable patterns. They target businesses that move money, approve invoices, manage payroll, work with vendors, have very busy executives, and lack strict verification process. In other words, they are targeting everyone. The next 30 days will bring more of these coordinated attacks, not fewer. That's why it's critical to know who answers the phone, who handles approvals, who receives urgent messages, and who is the most susceptible to manipulation. This next month is about tightening your processes before an attacker weaponizes your relationships. Would your team know the difference between your real voice and an AI clone? If your answer is no, this is where we come in. If you want to understand your organization's exposure to voice clone attacks and how prepared your staff truly is, schedule your cyber and AI profit assessment. We'll walk you through the risk map, identify vulnerabilities, and show you exactly how to protect your team. This assessment is for leaders who want clarity, control, and a documented, safe approval process. A team trained to detect AI-driven impersonation. This is not for businesses who hope common sense will save them. Common sense does not beat AI. And here's the truth every SMB leader needs to know or leave with today. Your voice, your literal voice, the thing I'm talking to you on now, is part of your security perimeter. And if you don't protect it, someone else will use it against you. This is not paranoia. This is preparation. This is what modern leadership looks like. And the companies that succeed in the next era won't be the ones with the biggest budgets. They'll be the ones with the clearest processes, the strongest awareness, and the fastest response. Your team doesn't need more fear. They need a playbook. They need confidence. They need clarity. And that's exactly what our cyber and AI profit assessment gives you. It's not just a risk review. It's a plan. It's a map. It's a way forward. So are you ready to protect your voice, your team, and your money? Book your cyber and AI profit assessment today at citian.group/risk or call us at 904-907-8503. Let's make sure that your voice is no longer your vulnerability. Don't wait for a fraudster to use your voice to drain your bank account. Get ahead of this now. Again, and I say this every week, this is not a tech conversation. This is not about your tech. This is a business growth conversation. Now, before we wrap, let me give you a sneak peek into what's coming next week. Because if you thought voice clones were wild, the next threat is even more sophisticated and it's even more convincing. Next week, we're unpacking AI-generated legal threats, forged demand letters, fake subpoenas, synthetic attorney notices, even fake regulatory communications, all created by AI and designed to intimidate, manipulate, and force your business into bad decisions fast. These attacks look real, they sound real, they feel real, and unless you know exactly what to look for, you'll fall for them. So make sure you're here next week. The next episode is a must watch for every business owner, every executive, and every operations leader who deals with legal compliance or financial workflows. Until then, stay safe, stay secure, stay smart, and as always, stay always on and always ahead. So until next week, be absolutely kind to each other. Have a great week.